Hey, I'm recording. Run through some things here. Get familiar with Zoom once again. Looks like there's a few people in the waiting room already. That's good news. And then let's see, we got this. Sweet. A lot to cover. Okay, let's see who we've got in. Let's see who we've got in the waiting room already. Hot dang. It's full. It's full. You can I've muted everybody on the way in. We've had some problems with some noise in the background. And so I've muted some folks, but I hope you turn on video if you want to pop on audio too and say, hey, I'm totally down for that. But I'm just waiting for a few people to get in. Tim, what's up? John, you look frozen, but I know it's just your profile photo, so it's not like that. I hope everyone's doing all right. I'll wait a little bit. Anything here while people are jumping in? Hey, John, I see you now. You're less frozen. Look good. That beard is nice. Is that
Thanks,
Mike?
man. Yeah, I'm eating dinner, so I'm gonna pop off video so you don't have to watch me eat, and then I'll come back on.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, I want anybody who's here already. I would absolutely love if there's something. I have a list of things that I'm going to cover on this call. If there's anything in the circle that has been helpful to you, you've seen an update, there's something that like jumped out or stuck out or like I said, been helpful to you, take a second, please, in the comments or in the little chat box, whatever it's called, and please let me know. But yeah, I've got a list of other things that I want to make sure that I cover, but I'd love to hear from you if there's something, even if it's little, I don't know, the smallest thing that's been helpful, then I would love to know. So yeah. And yes, this is being recorded. Nobody asked yet, but they will. Everyone's going to ask. It is like, yeah, that's like the most important question. Cool. Let me see if I can hop over and open the next section that adds useful videos from the web. The new section. Thanks, Sims. All right, cool. All right. I'm just gonna get rolling because I'm hoping, like always, I hope to do this in like 30 minutes. But yeah, there actually has been a lot of things that have been added, and there's a few things that are in the works that nobody knows about until like this call here. So I'm excited to share those things with you too. So, all right, I'm going to see if I can share my screen while you add anything that has been really helpful to you about the circle. P.S. Yes, I did work on logos all day for my full-time job, and now I am hanging out and talking about logos this evening. I don't know what my problem is. I just can't stop. So the circle here's a few things that I want to point out. There's been a lot of updates. I think there's close to 2,000 people in the circle right now, which is pretty dope for, I don't know, 2 months in right now. That's pretty exciting news that it's grown that much. So many people are hanging out on the trial and that's cool. I hope that it's proving worthwhile. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, for the trial to be worthwhile, but it did. So the circle though is growing like crazy. There's like I said, close to 2,000. If we can hit 2,000 by the end of October, I think that'd be incredible. Honestly, there's a lot, we're getting a lot of attention from Faithlife itself. So it's pretty exciting that there's there's conversations happening at Faithlife and Logos about what we're doing here, and they're learning a lot from us, and I'm able to share that. And so I hope that we're able to support their users more in the future. But anyways, a few things I'm going to run through, basically a checklist of things. We are close to 2,000 people. You should be sharing the invite link. I'd love to see us hit 2,000. I'm going to jump over to one of the first things that I want to mention is the upcoming event that Ryland's going to be hosting. So this is big. Ryland and I have been going back and forth about how to make the most of your Logos library as a research platform, and not just like a reading library, but like as a research platform. A lot of people use it as like a Kindle 2.0. Here you go. I'm going to try to looks like someone's hanging out in the waiting room. There we go. A lot of people use it as a Kindle 2.0, and it's so much more. And so Ryland's going to dedicate an hour on November 6th and talk through using Logos as a research platform. And one of the biggest things, and he and I were just messaging about this yesterday or today, and then he was pinging the coaches for some more insight around that, is search and like using Logos as a search tool. So I think one suggestion was finding a person within like a place, or finding words that are near one another in a search field. But anyways, hopefully this 1 hour session that's coming up on November 6th is helpful to you. You should be there. It's free right now. I mean, like all of these events are still free, so you get an idea of what's happening in the circle overall. And then the next thing that I want to talk about, and I'm actually going to save this for a little bit later because that's more exciting. I'm going to bump that to the bottom of the list and show you in a little bit. So the next thing that I want to make sure that I mention is over at faithlife.com. I won't show you, but we just, there's been a lot of talks back and forth about like sharing reading plans, sharing documents, sharing highlighting, sharing these different pieces across the community. And so I was like, I think it was Michael out of Papua New Guinea, and he was like, why don't we do a Faithlife group for anybody who's on the Pro and Pro Plus plans? And I was like, that's brilliant. I don't know why I didn't think about that until right now. And so we are doing that. So anybody who is on a Pro or Pro Plus plan will be added to the Faithlife subgroup. That is just for those users specifically. So we're able to share those documents back and forth, which makes things like our reading plans and sharing those things, or sharing documents with one another, so much easier. And then you also just kind of learn another level of Logos. Actually, you get to learn how to use it in community instead of just using it on your own. And so we'll be leveraging Faithlife groups. And so I mentioned the upcoming event. That's November 6th. If you missed that, I'm letting people in as I keep rolling here. So November 6th is that upcoming event. And then the Faithlife group, which is new. If you're a Pro or Pro Plus member, then you could jump into that group for free. That's no problem. So the next thing is for November and December. It's you almost unanimously voted, except for Donnie. Donnie thinks that he can read all of Beale's A New Testament of Biblical Theology in like 30 days, which is kudos to you. I don't know how he does it, but for November and December, we're going to be reading together. And let me jump down to this group for those of you who are not familiar with it. The monthly book club, we choose a book every month. And for November and December, we'll be hanging out in Beale's New Testament Biblical Theology. So, John, were you in some of my classes? I feel like you were with Beale. I could be wrong, but we've got the old reading plan here. I'm going to replace that with the November, December version of this reading plan. I think it's like over 600 pages. And so I don't know what Donnie was thinking, but there's a little video here to give you a synopsis of what we'll be talking about. And then you can dig into the book itself. Oh, you got there right after him. I'm sorry about that. It wasn't a good lecture. I mean, it wasn't a good class. You would have hated it. Sorry that you missed it. I'm kidding. It was wonderful. So All right, so I'm going to recap some things that we've covered thus far. So we've got the upcoming event on November 6th. We've got the new Faithlife group for Pro and Pro Plus members so that we can share documents and share reading plans and prayer lists, etc. And then we have the monthly book club, and we've decided on Beale's text, a New Testament biblical theology, and we're going to be covering that from November to December. So that's there you go. If you can't see my screen, then this has not been very helpful, but I have been sharing my screen this whole time. Mark just asked if I'm sharing my screen. I am. Let me know if you can't see it. I hope you can. It says you are sharing it. So, but all I've been sharing is what I'm walking through. Like all that I'm sharing is what I'm talking through right now. So cool. So the next thing that I want to make sure I mention, cool. Sims, I did. Sim just asked about the Faithlife group and how I'm going about adding people who requested to be group members. I've been really before work and after work, I've been going in and adding people who request to be a part of that group. And so I appreciate your patience. We just created it today, and I've been adding people as I can today. But yeah, we'll be building out the group documents, the group plans, the group lists, etc. And I'll make sure that everybody who's a pro member gets in there too. So don't you worry about that. Cool. So the next thing that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that's new for the circle is all of the new videos that are getting added to, there you go. Some of you just saw a sneak peek of what I'll be mentioning, but the live streams and demos library archive, there are all sorts of new training videos getting added in here. And so I know that Ryland's been hard at work in adding some new videos to this demo library. And so if you haven't gone through, you can watch these videos. And I'm kind of on the admin side. It looks a little bit different for you. But you can watch these videos and then actually mark it complete once you've watched it. And so if you have benefited from these videos, maybe actually just drop a note in chat and let other people know that they're actually like super helpful. So there's a list of all of these training videos here. And then live streams will be archived in here as well as we do all of those things. So yeah, make sure you hop in here and look at some of the new videos that are being added. This is in the live streams and demos library. And this is under the training videos section. So I know that a few folks are still getting acclimated to how to navigate. You're still getting used to how to navigate the circle. So from the homepage, I clicked on training videos. In this training videos section, it's got everything that you could want in it, including this live streams and demos library archive, which is what I was just talking through. We're adding new demos to this section here. And I think it was within the last couple of weeks, we added this because I thought it would be super helpful. If you find a video around YouTube or around anywhere on the internet, like this is another hub that's like, this is stuff that we don't create, but like, I just think it's incredibly helpful for people to be able to access. And so like Logos videos are on the web is what I called this video section. And this one here is like, for example, the Thompson Chain Reference Bible. There's a video in here on making the most or being able to use a Thompson Chain Reference Bible. This here is one of our coaches, Donnie Vick. He did a textual study on 1 Peter. And so all I did is I went in and I embedded the video, and you're welcome to walk through it, like watch it, and then mark it complete that you've watched through it. So that helps you keep track of what you've watched and see what else is in here to find. So this is just an area that like I'm adding to regularly. And if you're in this group, then you'll get a notification whenever a new video is added to this little area right here. So I'm going to go back to the home page. Okay, so this is navigating back to the home page of the circle, and I'm clicking on training videos. And within here, these are all the training videos that are available. And then this one here, these are Logos videos around the web, and then live streams and demos library archive. So before I move on to the next thing, if you have a question about any navigating, if I can show you around at all after I'm done with this quick community update, then drop a comment in the chat. If you have a question about anything that I can show you, I'll make sure that I do that at the close of this community update. Cool. Hey, Tim, looks like you just dropped me a message, but you're also here. That's trippy. Okay, so new video. I'm going to walk through once again. I'm going to walk through everything I've covered in this video and just let you know. So November 6th, we've got an update, upcoming event. Ryland Brown's going to walk through Logos as a research platform. There's a new Faithlife group, and Faithlife groups allow us to share content and documents and lists and reading plans across the community. So there's a new Faithlife group for anybody who is a Pro or Pro Plus member. And you can either add yourself to it. I dropped a link in the circle, or I'll be inviting you to it. So another piece that I shared already is the monthly book club. We've decided on Beale's A New Testament Biblical Theology. And we'll be reading that from November to December. We'll be reading it all the way through. We'll have live streams and discussion questions throughout November and December. So I think it's like a little over 500, 600 pages. So we'll be reading that together. And then I just mentioned the new videos that were added to the circle in the training library. Okay, so there's that. On to the next thing. So the next piece here is around navigating the circle. And I went ahead and created what I hope is a helpful article for everybody on navigating the circle. So I got some questions around like how to access the different groups, how to add a post within the circle, where do I find the videos, and etc. Like I've been getting a few questions around that, not many actually, but like a few folks do reach out. So if you haven't seen this post just yet, I tried to organize my thoughts in the best that I could to walk users through the circle and talk about groups and training videos, and then the benefit of joining the different groups that are in here. So this article is pinned right to the top of your Discovery tab. It's also added for all new users to find it. So that's it. I just wanted to point out this article in hopes that it helps you navigate the circle a little bit better. So we've talked about the upcoming event. We've talked about the new Faithlife group for Pro and Pro Plus members. We've talked about the monthly book club, the article on navigating the circle, and the new videos that are in the training library. All right. So there's two other things that I wanted to make sure I point out. And I also want to give you a nudge that, like, if there's anything you want to make sure that I cover or recap or walk you through, that you just drop a message in the chat, and I will make sure that I address it while we're all together. So the next thing I want to mention is I shot an email out today, actually this morning, on everything we did for Logos 10 as a community. That included video walkthroughs and articles that were posted within the circle, including an article that was posted for Church Tech Today, another website that we sometimes write for. So if you didn't get that newsletter that went to your inbox, that just means you're not on our email list. But hopefully that's just a reminder that we send you a newsletter every Tuesday. And then another thing is just, if you're wondering what's new in L10, then like that would be a great summary of everything that's new. So if you need that, send me a message or drop a message in the chat, and I'll make sure that you get that. Okay. So one more thing, I won't do a recap once again. One more thing to point out before I close our time together is we've been working on a new course, and I'm just gonna show you like the front end of it, but it's a specialized course, and it is for small group leaders. And it's taking a topic from organizing your info, researching it, and then putting it together into a lesson that includes prayer lists. So this is a course that's going to be available. I mean, we are probably ready to launch it tonight, but it'll be available like within the next couple of days, I would say at the latest. And that's Ryland. Once again, he's like incredible at walking users through making the most that they can of Logos. And so this course is coming up, and hopefully it's like we've been getting a lot of questions around really niche or niche, depending on how you say it, use cases of logos. And so this hopefully is one of those cases that like will be extremely helpful and practical for logos users. So we've got some more training stuff, content being released here soon. So, okay, I will, you know me, I'll take a breath for a second, see if there's any chats. Cool. Don, I'll answer your question in one moment. That's a good question. And then anybody else who has questions or anything else that you'd like me to walk through, I'll make sure that I address those while we're all together. So, 2 emails of everything you send out. So, I'm going to check something. I'm not sure why that's the case, but if that is the case for everybody, I would really like to know that, and I would like to fix that. So please let me know if that's the case for everybody, but let me double check something here. Oh, not for me, says Sims. No. Okay. Well, Don, I'll make sure that I look into that. I'm not sure why that's the case, but I do want to get that resolved. That's pretty frustrating. I would not want to be a part of, I wouldn't want to be a part of any sort of community that pings me twice for everything that's sent out. All right, cool. So one thing I find challenging is the number of notes that seem to be piling up at the top of my circle page. Right now I have 143 of them. How do I best manage them? It seems like even after I read them, they remain there, and it's hard for me to tell if I've read them or not. All right. Let me see. Kathleen, I'm going to make a note and make sure that I circle back with you on that. I'm not sure why that's the case. And I don't know. That's not the case for me, and I haven't heard that from other users. So Kathleen, on notes, I want to make sure that I circle back and help you out with that. All right, cool. Hey, Richard, that's looking really tasty. Is that Chipotle? All right, it looks good. It looks like a burrito. I'm going to guess it's sour cream, lettuce, maybe some nice mild salsa, some steak. All right, I'm way wrong. That's fine. Okay, so Kathleen, I'll make sure I circle back on that. Cool. So I'm going to, I apologize for the few people that I just let in a moment ago, because I'm actually wrapping it up pretty soon, to be honest with you, but I'm going to recap everything once again. And so if you've heard it twice, then you can jump if you'd like, and I won't find it offensive or rude whatsoever. But here's what we've covered on this call already. Okay. So we have an upcoming event on November 6th with Ryland Brown, and he's going to be talking about Logos as a research platform, not a Kindle 2.0, but as a research platform. Okay. And then, as I mentioned last, we've got a new course that'll be released in a couple of days, and that is using Logos as a specialized case, and that's for small group leaders. All right. And if you hadn't seen the notification, we have a new Faithlife group that we're going to be sharing documents with one another in, documents, layouts, lists, all the above. So anything within the Logos platform that we can share as a community, we thought it'd be easiest to bake it right into Logos. And so we created a Faithlife group for that. And all Pro and Pro Plus members have access to that group. If you haven't been admitted just yet, it's just because I haven't got to it, but I'm going to make it happen. Don't you worry about a thing. So then I also mentioned the monthly book club. So the monthly book club has decided on Beale's book for November and December. And Beale's book is a New Testament biblical theology. And we'll be reading that together as a group. And we'll be covering it over the like 7 to 8 weeks that span November, December. And so, yeah, that's just one big book. It's probably like 500 plus pages. I was wondering if I had a copy of in print right behind me, but I don't. So there's also a new article on the circle about navigating the circle. And so if you're like, I have no idea how to get around this circle, then like check out that circle article, and it'll show you like what the groups are, what the topics are, how the different spaces and training videos and all that work in there. And so make sure you check that out. That's a new one. And then It's actually that article. If you're curious, like Jason said to check it out, but how do I check it out? You go to the Discovery tab and it's going to be right at the top. Okay. So the other thing I want to make sure I mention is there are 10 to 15 new videos in the training library. So go to the training library and click on the demos area. And there's just tons of new videos to walk through there. And as you're done with them, mark them complete so that you know what you've watched and what you haven't watched. All right. So the other piece that I want to make that I touched on earlier was that we did a recap of everything that the Logos coaches did for L10. And we did that in a newsletter that went out this morning. And so if you haven't seen the newsletter, check that out. If you haven't seen it because it didn't get in your inbox, then let me know that you want to be added. Because we had videos and articles and blog posts on other platforms, everything in there. Cool. I think that's everything that we covered. And it's 7:25. So Kathleen, I've got a note to follow up with you. Sims, the best time to vote for the book club is watch the book club and look for a notification right now. I'll be honest with you. We're pushing to get everything together like as quick as we can, as early as we can, but that was a little bit later than I think we wanted to. Our coach, Matthew Hamrick, his internet went out at his house. And so I jumped in and helped him out with the book club, but he's kind of owning that whole thing. So cool. Melody, I am making a note to make sure you get the newsletter because we have tons of goodies in there. And then Chris, I got you. That's fine. All right, cool. So the other thing, it looks like whomever S is having a similar issue with Kathleen. And I'll make sure that I get that resolved, but I'm not sure who S is, and I want to help you out. Cool. So a recording of this is going to be available in the circle, but I definitely don't want to keep you guys for more than I need to. And so I hope this is a helpful summary of everything that we're doing in the circle, because there's a lot of stuff happening. And sometimes it's like kind of tough to know what's happening, to be honest with you. And so I hope that this was really helpful. How about this? If you are not on the newsletter, if you didn't get it in your inbox, can you just send me either a note on the circle, or can you send me an email? And I'm dropping the email right underneath here. So I want to make sure that I help you guys out. Richard is playing Guess Who, it looks like. Scott Haynes, he's like, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Okay. I appreciate every single one of you. And like the momentum of the circle is insane. I had no idea that we'd have 2,000 people in here in like 7 or so weeks already. And so this is dope. There's a lot of incredible things that are happening. And S, I got you. I saw your message. Don't you worry about a thing. I'm going to figure that out. And Richard, you were right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Be blessed, and please stay close to the word. I'll catch up with you guys soon. Bye-bye.